Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Sri Dakshinamurti Sudeshikendram Dvaipayanam Sutrakritam Munindram Sri Shankaram Bhashyakritam Yatindram Maddeshi Kanchapi Namami Vityai Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsarishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahita Prajnana Ganaha Pratyagarto Brahmaivahamasmi Om Prapannaparijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Amritaduhe Namaha. Pranams everyone. We are in chapter 3. We have finished Sloka 10. Now we have to go to Sloka 11. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Devan Bhavayata Nena Te Deva Bhavayantu Vaha Parasparam Bhavayantaha Shreyah Paramavapsyata Devan Bhavayata Nena Te Deva Bhavayantu Vaha Parasparam Bhavayantaha Shreyah Paramavapsyata. So Bhagavan is elaborating on the Karma Yoga. In Sloka 7, he said, perform Karma Yoga, and he who pursues Karma Yoga without any attachment, asaktaha, he excels, vishishyate, he said. Then in Sloka 9, he basically started defining what should be the type of action and what should be the attitude while performing Karma Yoga. So in Sloka 8, he said, Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam. He said, perform your obligatory duties. All your duties and responsibilities that you have as the role that you play, for the roles that you play, you perform them without any likes or dislikes, without any attachment. Then he said in Shloka number 9, he talked about the attitude to maintain while performing this niyatam karma. And he said, Yajñartat karmanaha, perform with the attitude of Ishvara Arpana, and perform it without any attachment, Mukta Sangaha, and perform that properly, diligently, Samachara. So the attitude that one must have while performing the duties and responsibilities was talked about in Sloka number 9. Then in Sloka 10, Bhagavan said that the Karma Yoga lifestyle has been established by Ishvara himself at the start of creation, at the beginning of the creation. Purovacha Prajapati. So, and at the time of creation, and then the Prajapati, the creator, said, Prasavishyadvam anena, may you prosper by this Karma Yoga. And what is the Karma Yoga that we saw here? We saw that the Panchamaha Yajñas are part of the Niyatam Karma. The Panchamaha Yajñas, basically the Deva Yajña, Pitru Yajña, Manushya Yajña, Bhuta Yajña, and Brahma Yajña. All these 5 types of yajñas have to be performed by every individual on a daily basis. One does not replace the other. We saw that so far. Now, in this sloka, 11th sloka, what is going to be talked, we'll see that. Now, in the 10th sloka, Bhagavan said that whatever we attain, he said, Yesha astu ishta kama duk, he said, that whatever we desire, we will achieve, we will get them by following this Karma Yoga lifestyle. That is what Bhagavan said. Anena prasavishyadvam yesha astu ishta kama duk. So may you will attain whatever you desire for by following this Karma Yoga lifestyle. Now in this sloka number 11, Bhagavan says, how will we attain that? Katam yajnaha ishta kamaduku syat. How is that the Karma Yoga lifestyle can give what we desire? This is explained by Bhagavan in this sloka. Now before we go there is a famous phrase, because this sloka, the underlying, the Shastric concept that we have to understand here is this famous phrase in the Vedas, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. This is we would have heard this many times, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. Now this is what Bhagavan wants to explain here. He does it in a different manner. But first we will go into this phrase. We will try to do some analysis, vichara on that, because it's a very important tattva. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. First we will see this phrase, then we will go into the sloka. Dharmo Rakshati. What does that mean? Dharmo Rakshati means Dharma protects. Dharma protects. Then we have Rakshitah. Rakshitah means, this is an adjective for Dharma. So Rakshitah Dharma, or adverb. Rakshitah Dharma Rakshati. Protected Dharma protects. Rakshitah Dharma Rakshati. Protected Dharma protects. If we have to elaborate that, we'll have to say, Dharma that is protected by us will protect us. Whoever protects Dharma, that person is protected by Dharma. What do we have to understand from this? Dharma will not protect anybody who does not protect Dharma. Dharma will protect only those persons who protects Dharma. So this example we have seen in the Mahabharata war, right? When Karna's chariot's wheel, it got stuck, then Bhagavan says to Arjuna, this is the best time to shoot arrows on him. At that time, Karna talks about Dharma. He talks about Yuddha Dharma. He says, only when both persons have weapon in their hands, there can be a fight. Right now, I am without any weapons, and at this time, to shoot arrows at me is not Dharma. This is Karna's defense. But what we have to understand here is, when Karna speaks about Dharma here, we have to understand what is the motive behind it. Is he talking with the interest on Dharma? Is he talking that Dharma needs to be upheld? No. When Karna talks to Bhagavan about Yuddha Dharma, does he do with an intent, say, to uphold Dharma and make sure everybody follows Dharma, and he is actually a person who wants Dharma to be upheld? No. If that was his intent, he should have talked about this Dharma when Duryodhana didn't follow Dharma. The war itself, the Duryodhana follows, is an adharmic war. Karna should have let Duryodhana know that this is adharma, you should not do this. And more importantly, he should have spoken about Dharma when Kauravas killed Abhimanyu, when Abhimanyu was without any weapon. So why does he speak about Dharma here? It's not that Karna wants to protect and uphold Dharma. He wants to use Dharma as an excuse to protect himself. So did that Dharma protect Karna? No. What sort of Dharma will protect us? Only that Dharma that is protected by us will protect us. This is a very important concept, and we must take inside our mind deeply. Because every transaction that we have in our house or outside, why is this person behaving like this? Why is that person behaving like that? That person is wrong. All these things, when we have these questions and we actually question others, the first thing we have to ask is, did I follow Dharma? Did I protect Dharma? For example, I am not happy about people discussing about me and my family matters with other friends, their friends. We say it is wrong. Yeah, they are gossiping. Agree, it is not correct. We speak about dharma. But before we speak about that, we should ask ourselves, have I followed that? Have I not spoken about anyone to others? It need not be about the same person, or it need not be about with the same mutual friends that we have. It could be about anyone. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, have I not spoken about anyone? Not even to my family members, not even about my family members, or not even to my family members. If not, then of course nobody will also speak about me. But only if we are like that. Whenever we are in a sorrow, whenever we are facing sorrow, or whenever we are in a difficult situation, we claim that Dharma has not protected us. At that time, we should actually see a contradiction in our understanding of Dharma. We should question ourselves, did I uphold Dharma? Did I protect Dharma for the sake of protecting Dharma? Not for the sake of, because it benefits me. Why should I protect Dharma? Not because I want Dharma to protect me. I should protect or follow Dharma for the sake of Dharma. That is considered to be Rakshati Dharma. That Dharma that I follow will be Rakshati. So, protecting Dharma for the sake of Dharma, not for the sake of Dharma protecting me or for the sake of having an excuse, is the way to follow. In the same Mahabharata war, when arrows were actually flying past Arjuna's head, Arjuna thought that it was his Dharma which is protecting him. Actually, it is not. It was Yudhishthira's Dharma that protected Arjuna. Yudhishthira was one who was following Dharma for the sake of Dharma. Not because it suited him or he wanted Dharma to protect himself. Dharma behaves in a subtle manner, but it is the truth. Dharma is Ishvara's order. It cannot go wrong. If somebody says, Dharma is not fair to me, it is not correct. Dharma is always fair. It cannot go wrong. That is what Bhagavan is saying here. The underlying principle that Bhagavan wants to establish here is Rakshati Dharma Rakshitah. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. That is what Bhagavan is saying here. Now we will go to the Sloka itself. Devan Bhavayatanena. Bhavayata. Bhavayata means may you nourish. Bhavayata means may you nourish. Devan. Devan means the Devatas. Anena. Anena here means by this. What by me this means what? By this yajna. In other words, and he says, you protect, may you nourish the devas. And then what? Te deva bhavayantu vaha. The devatas will protect you. Te deva, may the devatas bhavayantu vaha. They nourish you in turn. So basically Bhagavan says, if you protect the environment and other beings, they will in turn protect you. This is nature's law. You protect others, you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. You protect others, you protect the environment will protect you. There is a saying in Tamil, Oorar pullayo ootti valatha, than pillai thane valarum. These are sayings that have come from our ancestors' experience. These old sayings should not be taken lightly. It might look very cheesy, it might look very unrefined, but these are all Veda Vakyas. In Vedas, you have refined statements, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah, and all those things. But then you have the common man's statement, which have come from their experience, and which is nothing but the words of Vedas in the words that they can express and they have experienced. So these are all, we should not take them lightly. That these are all, not, it doesn't work for these days. We should not discredit them. So here, Devadatas mean Bhavayatah Devan Anena. Devan Bhavayatan Anena. Here, Devata. Devata means here what? Nature. Bhagavan says, you protect the nature, and the nature or the environment will protect you. If you protect Dharma, then Dharma will protect you. Now, what is the relation between this sloka and the previous sloka? In the previous sloka, we said Prajapati says, I have given this knowledge of Karma Yoga lifestyle, you follow and attain what you desire. That was what was said in the previous sloka. And we could have got a doubt. How can I attain what I desire by leading a life of Karma Yoga lifestyle? How can, just by leading Karma Yoga lifestyle, I can get what I desire? Here Bhagavan says, in my creation, there is a law. There is a law that is embedded in the nature. The law is, whatever you give, you will get that back. Whatever you give to the other, you will get that in return. This is the law of nature. And you only get what you give. It's not that you get more or less than what you give. Similarly, that which is protected by you will protect you. Bhagavan uses the word Devatas to represent the nature or environment here. Why? Because in our Shastras, every natural force is has been given a presiding deity, a Devata. Bhagavan is using the term here. Bhagavan says, you protect the Devata and the Devata will protect you. And the presiding deities are there for every natural force. And he says, you nourish each other. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreya paramavapsyata. Param shreya. Supreme good, you will get the supreme good, which is moksha. Bhavayantaha parasparam. Nourishing each other. Parasparam means one with one another, each other. Avapsyata. Shreya param avapsyata. Avapsyata means you will attain what? Param shreya, supreme good. As I said, in the Shastras, Devatas are presiding deity over all natural forces. So when I am leading a life of harmony, I am in turn propitiating the Devatas. And typically, who are the Devatas? Normally we see Indra. Indra is one Devata, the Devata of the rain and thunder. Varuna, the Devata of oceans. Then we have Yama, then we have Prajapati. All Devatas are nothing but natural forces. The nature will be propitiated by leading a harmonious life. So in other words, what Bhagavan says is, understand that you and the creation should not be enemies. You are not fighting with the nature, but you are living in cooperation with nature. This is another uniqueness of our scriptures. No other probably religion talks about environment and all those things as detailed as our scriptures do. It says you and nature should live in harmony. Generally what happens is science approaches nature as something to be conquered. For example, they always use this expression, conquering nature. They say, conquering Mount Everest. This guy has conquered Mount Everest. just climbing the Mount Everest is considered to be conquering it. So, but in ours, we should not think like that. We need not conquer nature. Nature is not our enemy. World has not come to give us problems. Shastra says you and the world should live in harmony, and therefore there should be progress at both levels. Bhagavan says propitiate devatas, which are in the form of nature. And what will they do? Te deva bhavayantu vaha. They will please you. They will give you plenty of rain. The seasons will come in properly. Rains will come properly. Today, in science, they say, if we lead a life in such a way that the ecological harmony is disturbed or destroyed, the seasons will be violated. We may not get enough rain during the season, and then there could be unseasonal rain and all those things. They use scientific language. If you cut the trees, then the rains will not come properly, and they will give scientific reasons for that. For us, everything is Ishvara. Jagat is Ishvara. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. So the same idea, Shastras put it in a different language. For example, every tree has to be worshipped. Every object in this universe has to be seen as divine. In fact, in Bhagavatam, every tree is compared to the hair on the body of Ishvara. Every tree. Every river is compared to the blood vessels of Ishvara. So if the rivers are stopped, it is like blocking the arteries and veins. If we are polluting the river, we are polluting the blood of Ishvara. When we are blocking the river, we are blocking the blood vessels of Ishvara. This is how we see nature. This is how our Shastras give the view of the world. The language is religious language. Respect nature. Live in harmony with nature. In fact, we know everything is divine. Everything is Ishvara. Trees are divine. Rivers are divine. We offer prostrations to all. Before we consider every river to be divine. Even before stepping into a river for bath, we had to supposed to actually worship that water before we put our foot inside it. And everywhere we have to contribute, we have to do what we can. There is a Subhashitam, Paropakaraya Palanti Vrikshaha, Paropakaraya Duhanti Gavaha, Paropakaraya Vahanti Nadyaha, Paropakarartam Idam Shariram. Paropakaraya Palanti Vrikshaha, the tree produces lots of fruits. It does not consume even one. All for what? Only as a gift to the world. Even if a stone is thrown at the tree, in return it gives only fruits. Paropakaraya Dukhanti Gavaha. The cow produces milk for all our coffee, tea, whatever, even for Abhisheka and all those things. Paropakaraya Vahanti Nadyaha. The rivers carry water. All for the blessing of the society only. From looking at the nature, we can easily understand why Ishvara has given this body. So we see all these things. We see trees, rivers, the animals, cows, and therefore we have to understand from there, therefore Paropakarartam Idam Shariram. When I utilize my body to serve the world, I utilize my mind to give love to others. This is what Shastras want to understand from looking at the nature. There is a difference between life of competition and life of cooperation. Competition is deadly. It's a deadly thing to society because once there is competition, there is only selfishness. I do not want to share the knowledge with others. I will not give you, I will only keep it. Therefore, in competition, what happens? We turn selfish. We do not share whatever we have. One country does not want to share the scientific advancement with other country. But in cooperation, there is growth. Generally, there are some people who think that the best comes out of competition. The best out of human beings comes out of competition. Only when there is competition, there is a reason for people to come out of their comfort zone and become the best. But the Shastras say, and we say, the worst comes out in human beings. That's why in sports where there is heavy competition, there is cheating, there are drugs, performance enhancing drugs, all those things, because the person wants to win somehow. Our Shastras, Vedas says competition is a disease, and the disease is called as Matsaryam. It is one of the 6 evils. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam. Matsarya is the evil created by competition. Veda says competition should be replaced by cooperation. I should be happy when I see the other persons also thrive. If the next door person does well in their lives, I should be happy. I should not become jealous. The moment I compare, I give rise to competition. I give rise to jealousy. The seed of jealousy is first sowed when I compare. When I am able to appreciate others, whatever they do, if they are doing good things, of course, then I am reducing my raga dvesha. I am going up spiritually. I should not become jealous when the other person thrives. That attitude is what the Vedas and Shastras ask us to have. Bhavayantaha parasparam, nourishing each other, avapsyata, you will, paramashreya, supreme good, you will attain the highest benefit. So, another takeaway from this sloka is when we say nourishing each other, you will attain supreme good. So, another takeaway from here we have to understand is we should not take any benefit without putting in the appropriate effort. The biggest weakness of human beings is that, or what we consider to be smart or successful, is when a person or when I am able to put in less effort and gain more. Then we are saying, oh, you work smart. You are very successful because you put in less effort and you have been able to gain more. And we take it to be a win. We take it to be successful if we are working smart. But Bhagavan says, this is wrong. Whatever benefit or reward you take, it should be after putting in the required effort, or it should not be without putting the required work. We should not try to gain something which is not correct. For example, we try to actually bargain, especially with street vendors and others, to actually get more out of them. And if we actually gain some 10 rupees or 20 rupees from them worth of goods, we feel happy, we feel successful, we feel we have been smart. Bhagavan says that's not right. Shastra says that's not right. That's why, this is a basic tendency of human beings to get something for which they have not paid or they have not worked for. That's why in sales promotions, they always have this concept of free. It's not that it's free, but the moment we see it's free, we get attracted towards it. Shastra says this is against Karma Yoga. Whatever we take as help, whatever we take as benefit from anyone, we will have to do our part to give it back. We may not, so that's why in our society we will not be able to give it back to the same person. Doesn't matter, do it back to some other where it is deserving, or do it wherever you can. Don't try to it's not possible to do it to the same person, give it back to the same person in whatever form they had given. But our idea should be, wherever possible, to give it, not question at that point of time whether that other person deserves it. Bhavayantaha parasparam, nourishing each other. So there are this sloka, 11th sloka, important sloka, 3 concepts, 3 takeaways. The first one is, we saw Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. We saw that in detail. Protected dharma protects. Then we have to understand life is about cooperation, not competition. Then the third takeaway we saw, do not take any benefit or reward without putting in the effort. Don't try to say, I worked smart. This is against Karma Yoga. It might give you some material benefits, but it will be for a short run, for short time. And we see others who have been able to achieve it. Don't feel jealous. Don't compare. Because we will not know when they fall. We will not be around them also. So don't compare. So those are the 3 things that from the sloka number 11. Now sloka number 12. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattan apradhayaibhya yo bhunkte stena eva saha. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattan apradhayaibhya yo bhunkte stena eva saha. So here in this sloka, Bhagavan talks about the attitude that one must have on Kaamya karma. Kaamya karma are actions that arise out of our desires. These actions are not duties or responsibilities. These are actions that arise out of our desire. What should be the attitude that one must have is what Bhagavan talks about in this sloka. In Karma Yoga so far, we had seen about Niyatam Karma. Sloka number 8, we saw Niyatam Karma Kuru. Duties and responsibilities. Then Sloka number 9, we saw the attitude that one must have on the Niyatam Karma. Kaamya karma are not our duties and responsibilities. And these are actions that arise out of our desire, and they are done to enjoy pleasures for the purpose of bhoga. We do it for the purpose of bhoga. For example, we want to go and watch a movie, or we want to go to a restaurant and eat. Is that our duty? No. This Kaamya karma. These are actions that we perform willingly for our enjoyment. These are actions that arise out of our desires. In the beginning stages of Karma Yoga lifestyle, it is not possible to say that we should not perform these actions, that I should not be doing any Kaamya karma. That is not possible. Why? The reason being, the benefit of Karma Yoga itself is to reduce desires. What is the benefit of Karma Yoga lifestyle cannot be expected at the beginning stage of Karma Yoga itself. And therefore, Bhagavan allows us to enjoy pleasures. He gives 2 conditions though. When we perform Kaamya karma and experience pleasure, he says, do it with these 2 conditions, or do it with these 2 attitudes. With them, they are also converted into Karma Yoga. Kaamya karma is not bad. Do it. but with two conditions. To seek pleasure, to fulfill desire is not wrong. But two conditions. What are the two conditions? One, Prasada Buddhi. Prasada Buddhi. Second one, Dhanam. Dhanam meaning sharing. We'll go one by one. Prasada Buddhi. When we are enjoying this Bhoga Vastu, whatever we are enjoying, the attitude in our mind should be of Prasada Buddhi. As in, this is the Prasada from Ishvara. Bhagavan does not say we must not enjoy pleasures. But what he says is, whilst enjoying, you should have the bhavana of this being Ishvara Prasada. That's why in our culture, all these good food items that we want to enjoy, that seedai, murukku, appam, korakattai, all these are actually made for some festival or other and consumed as a prasada. That's why anything we want to enjoy in life, the concept of Ishvara is brought in. The festivals are done so that you want to enjoy, you enjoy, but bring the concept of Ishvara in. Deepavali, Pongal, Sankranti, Krishna Jayanti, so many festivals. That's because we seek pleasure in sensory experiences. We want to dress up nicely. We want to, create a house, beautify our house. We want to make variety of good food. We want to enjoy them. So these festivals give us an opportunity to experience all these sensory pleasures, but take it as prasada, because we are bringing the concept of Ishvara in all those festivals. Especially our tongue, it asks for variety of taste. We want to taste variety of things. So our culture says bring them in, but bring them in as part of festivals. Take those bhakshanas, eateries as Ishvara Prasada. All those bhogas are mixed with Ishvara in all these festivals. Of course, today we have everything available in shops and we don't even make them at home. There is no concept of offering to Ishvara. We directly enjoy it. Those days it was not like that. The culture is such that you don't do it on regular days. You do it only on the days of festival. And you actually do Naivedyam, you actually bring the concept of Ishvara. We mix Bhogam and Bhagavan. This we have to keep doing for every little Bhogam. Now, what Karma Yoga says is, every Bhogam that you enjoy, you bring in Bhagavan. Enjoying these pleasures is not wrong. Whatever we enjoy, as long as we have this attitude that this has given to me by Ishvara. I have not, it's not my effort. It is Ishvara's Prasada. But understand, when we say enjoying bhoga, it cannot be while doing these things of adharma. Drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, these are also bhoga vastu, but we cannot consider that as to be Ishvara Prasada. Adharmic activities will only get papa. And we like to sing, we like to dance, we like to, all those things. Everywhere the concept of Ishvara can be brought in. That's why some people like to sing. Okay, sing in for Ishvara. We have this varieties of forms of Ishvara for us to worship. We have the varieties of means of worship also. We have varieties even in bhakti, Navavidha bhakti. We have Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dhasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Sakyam, Atyam, Atmanivedanam. So we can We can actually consider Ishvara in any form that we want. We can worship Ishvara in any form, in any manner we want. By bringing Ishvara in Bhoga Vastu, we get Chitta Shuddhi. Why bring in Ishvara? Shastra says, if you do it as Ishvara Prasada, you do Karma Yoga. And what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga will give us Chitta Shuddhi. Now, how does the attitude of Ishvara Prasada give me Chitta Shuddhi? By considering that my Bhoga is all Ishvara Prasada, how am I able to get Chitta Shuddhi? How am I able to reduce my likes and dislikes? Let us take one person enjoying the pleasure without the attitude of Ishvara Prasada, and then there is another who enjoys the pleasures as Ishvara Prasada. Now for the second person, because what comes from Ishvara is a Prasada, if it's a Prasada, therefore sacred, and therefore it cannot be rejected or criticized, and it should be received with a sense of fulfillment. Because it's a Prasada. I don't find fault in Prasada. I don't feel uncontented. Like, oh, when I go to the temple and he gives me tulasi, oh, he's given me only a little bit of tulasi. I don't feel disappointed. I don't feel cheated. When I receive it as Prasada, I don't feel unhappy. I don't feel jealous. More importantly, I don't feel proud. Because this has been given to me by Ishvara. It's not that I have actually, this is my work. So on the other hand, what is it that I get? If I consider that as Ishvara Prasada, I feel humble, I feel contented, I'm happy, I'm grateful. And Bhagavan says, the person who enjoys Bhoga as Ishvara Prasada will slowly get Vairagya and Viveka. In other words, Chitta Shuddhi over a period of time. So this is the benefit of considering Bhogas as Ishvara Prasada. This is the first one, Ishvara Prasada. Two attitude I said. Ishvara Prasada, and the second one is Dhanam, sharing. If we get any Bhoga Vastu, then we should not enjoy it ourselves. We should share it with others. If we are selfish and keep it for ourselves, Bhagavan uses a term. He says in this sloka itself, Sthena. Sthena means thief. Bhagavan says that we must share and enjoy. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitah tairadaptan apradayebhya yo bhunkte sthena eva saha. We'll go to the sloka. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha. Ishtan bhogan. Ishtan bhogan means all the desired pleasures through Kaamya karma. Ishtan bhogan. Dasyante hi vaha. Dasyante hi will indeed give you. Will indeed give you. Devaha, the devas. So the devatas will give you all the desired pleasures. The devatas will indeed give you all the desired pleasures. Where? Both in this world as well as in the world after. They will give you. But Bhagavan gives a condition here. Which devas will give us? Yajna bhavitaha. Who are nourished by yajna. The devatas who are worshipped by us. The devatas who are worshipped through the Panchamaha yajnas. The devatas who are happy with our prayers. The various deities of the creation, Indra, Varuna, Agni, all those things, they will give you whatever we want, provided we have performed yajnas, performed Deva yajna, Pitri yajna, all those yajnas that we have, Bhuta yajna, is all environment. We consider them as divine and we perform our duty, Panchamaha Yajnas, they will give you everything what you want. And that's why we have to say, why is it that that person gets, I am not getting, or why is this person getting, the other person not getting? Answer is Yajna Bhavitaha. Devatas who are worshipped. And when we say Yajnaha, it means Shrauta Smarta Yajnehi. In other words, Shrauta Smarta Yajnehi means Devatas who are worshipped by performing Yajnas mentioned in Vedas or in Smritis. So there are Yajnas that are mentioned in Vedas if you perform them, or there are also Yajnas or Pujas that are mentioned in Smritis if you follow them. Those Devatas will give us the desired pleasures. Any ritual is normally performed for a Devata. Any samskaras, any pujas, we invoke a lot of Devatas. If you bring in the Purohits and you perform any ritual, the Devatas will, you do Navagraha Homa, you do Ganapati Homa, you do any home, anything. Those are all Shrautas Yajna. If you do all those things, or if you do pujas, you invoke Ganapati, you invoke everything will be, some Devata will be propitiated. And at the end of the event, after the Purohits will recite Dhanyam Dhanam Pashum Bahuputra Labham Satasam Vacharam Dirgamayuhu. So the Devatas in turn will bless us with all these things. Dhanyam, Dhanam, Pashum, Bahuputra Labham, Satasam Vacharam, Dirgam Ayuhu. All those things. There is nothing wrong in enjoying them. All these things the Devatas give us. There is nothing wrong. But how should we enjoy them? Tairdattan apradayabhya yo bhunkte stena eva saha. Tairdattan, their blessings. The Devatas have given, varieties of blessings are given. They have given Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, food, clothing, shelter, whatever. We are all enjoying the benefits given by those Devatas. We have to understand that everything that is given to us by the Devatas. We have to always have this feeling. We are enjoying these benefits given by Devatas. Apradaya, without offering, without any reciprocation. Apradaya ebhya. Without offering or reciprocating to them. In other words, without doing naivedyam, without offering to them, without considering them as their prasada, without having this feeling of gratitude, without having this feeling of thanksgiving, he saha ya bhunkta, saha ya bhunkta, saha ye bhunkta, bhunkte, saha ye bhunkte, he who enjoys, evastena, is indeed a thief. So he who enjoys the Devatas' blessings without offering to them, without considering them as prasada, without having this feeling of gratitude, without doing things in reciprocation, without offering naivedya, is a thief for sure, Bhagavan says. Ingratitude is the worst weakness of human being. The Shastra says that all the papams have prayashchitam. All the papams have prayashchitam except one papam for which there is no prayashchitam, and that is the papam of ingratitude. Being ungrateful itself is a papa. In India, there are people who commit mahapapa. They are not only, Normally, you should do more to the temples than taking far away from temples. There are people who have taken away temple lands, not paying their rents, or worst, claiming to be theirs. That's Mahapapam. There is a saying, Sivan Sottu Kula Nasham. Anything we take from the temple without offering it to Ishvara, it will destroy the lineage. The children will suffer, the grandchildren will suffer, that lineage will suffer. So being grateful is important for what we have in our life. We will have to take everything as Ishvara Prasada. And that's why in this sloka is very important. What Shastras or what this sloka says is, do Naivedyam before eating. Anything we cook, we are supposed to do Naivedyam. That's why in Vaishnava Sampradaya, they do this taligai, so-called taligai, and they do not actually eat or taste anything before doing the entire thing as Naivedyam first. Whatever we cook, it's not just the rice and the parupu. Normally we only do the rice and parupu. Whatever we cook, we are supposed to place them in front of Ishvara, perform Naivedya, and then only taste. Saying that because of Ishvara alone, I have this food. And when I keep the food in front of Ishvara, it is for Naivedyam, Nivedanam. Nivedanam means it's not offering. It means only acknowledgement. Nivedanam doesn't mean that I am actually asking Ishvara to. It's just saying a thanks, doing a namaskaram. We have to be grateful for everything in life. Everything has been provided by Ishvara. It is not that within the family the husband is giving it to the wife is giving to the husband, the parents are giving to the children are giving to the parents. In our culture, everything is given by Ishvara. We are just instruments. Everything has been provided by Ishvara already to the other person. The person who is supposed to be giving here is only an instrument. Tidum nandrum pirardara vara. Every moment of our life, we have to take it as a life of reverence. In other religions, there are two lives. One is sacred life, the other one is secular life. For example, going to office, doing the work, they all consider that to be secular. But going to a temple or in their mosque or church, they consider them as sacred. In our culture, there is no division between secular and sacred. Every action is a sacred action. In fact, that's why, I don't know these days, but in those days at least, every car driver or bus driver, before starting that car, he will do a namaskaram to the car itself. Before starting a factory, they will break a coconut. Before constructing a building, they will do a bhumi puja. Every aspect of life is one of reverence only. So the essence of this sloka is, reverential life is karma yoga. A non-referential life is just karma. And karma creates bondage. Karma creates papa punya. A reverential life, on the other hand, gives us chitta shuddhi, takes us closer to moksha. And not only that, if you look at the previous sloka, then it says, it will also give you what you desire. Even materialistic desires will be fulfilled. So if we look into our desires are two types. One that are in line with dharma and the one that are not in line with dharma. So some desires are bad and therefore we will not share it with others. Some desires are not bad and therefore we will not have any problem in sharing those desires with others. When we come to Karma Yoga, the first thing we have to remove is to remove all these illegal, immoral, illegitimate desires from our mind. That's the first stage, removing those desires, illegitimate desires. Then, whatever desires we have, the second stage, we have to moderate them. Legitimate desires also over a period of time will bring us attachment. So moderate those legitimate desires. That's a second step. Then the third step for this is converting even those legitimate desires into non-binding desires. As in, if it happens, I'm happy. If it doesn't happen, I am not disappointed. This is the third stage. Karma Yoga helps us to get to this stage. If we consider everything to be prasada, and if we are willing to share with people, what happens? We get to the second stage, which is first we will be moderating even our legitimate desires, and the third stage, finally, we will be converting them into non-binding desires. And the benefit of Karma Yoga is whether the desires get fulfilled or not, I will not be perturbed, I will not be disturbed, I will not get angry, I will be still calm, I'll be composed, I'll be contented. It's not easy to get. Some people think it takes away the gist of my life. It's not that. The benefit that you get by having a contented, calm, composed life is the mental strength. Nobody can bring me or make me angry. Nobody can make me disturb me. Nobody can actually make me feel jealous. To be able to get to this bhavana in the mind, to be not disturbed by success or failure. In fact, when Swamiji was asked, what is success in life? Success in life is not to get disturbed by failure or success. That is the biggest, highest success. To not get affected whether the desires get fulfilled or not. That's the benefit of Karma Yoga. So in this sloka, Bhagavan is not talking about reducing, he's not talking about converting into non-binding desires. But what Bhagavan says is, he will say, take it as Ishvara Prasada. By doing so, you will get to the second stage, which is moderating the legitimate desires. By doing so, you get strength in your mind. And as we keep practicing that, what is the benefit? We'll start seeing everything in an equanimous manner. Because everything is prasada. It gets fulfilled or not fulfilled, this is what Ishvara has given to me. I'm willing to accept it. It will not matter. This is the same thing when in second chapter Bhagavan said one of the definitions of Karma Yoga to be Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Having equanimity in the mind is Karma Yoga. That mindset is the final step. So to get to that stage, Bhagavan is saying how do you get it, especially if you are performing Kaamya Karma. This is how you have to do Kaamya Karma so that you get to that stage. Make sure you take it as prasada, do Naivedyam, share. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah, all those points. So with that, we'll close today's class. We'll see in the next sloka in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om.